Good morning and welcome to Coffee Corner, Coffee in Christ. I'm Jarena, so it's so nice to have you guys back. If this is your first time, welcome to Coffee Corner. I hope you enjoy talking about coffee and Christ, and I hope you stick around. If you guys haven't, either this is your first time or you've been around and you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. That just helps me know how many people are interested in me continuing to post these videos, and it is a little bit of a source of encouragement if you guys can subscribe. If you don't have a channel, obviously you can't subscribe, but keep on watching. Let me know what you guys think about things. I'd love to hear comments, and if you guys have ideas for stuff that you would like me to talk about on this channel, maybe a particular subject or a particular person or a particular book, I am more than up to maybe trying something like that. So let me know, and I'd love to do that. But you'd have to comment below in the comment section below to let me know that as well. So I am excited to share, test something out with my coffee and share one of my favorite verses. So let's get going and let's do that. So, something new or different that I'm trying with my coffee today. I just had this random inspiration. We'll see if it's inspiration. We'll see if it tastes good. So, I made coffee and I put a little bit of French vanilla creamer, which is actually, if we're splitting my creamers, it's my husband's creamer because I have a different creamer right now that I'm using regularly. So, but I use French vanilla creamer, which I don't normally use. And then I have this, glaze that I made for a apple cider cake that I baked, and we almost have the cake all finished, but we have a bunch of this drizzle left, so it's like a cinnamon nutmeggy sugar drizzle. So I decided that I'm going to try and put that in my coffee and see if it tastes if I can even taste it, because normally when I put drizzly type things in my coffee, they're not normally strong enough. I can't taste them. So that's what I did. I put 3 teaspoons of it in my coffee. So let's see if this actually tastes like nutmeg and cinnamon. There is a little bit, it hits you about halfway through that sip, that nutmeggy, not even really a cinnamon. I think it's because nutmeg is a little bit stronger. That's what hits you. But overall, most of what I taste is vanilla. It's not bad. Not bad. It's just maybe not exactly what I was imagining. But I can drink that. That makes me happy. Okay, so now that we've established that I'm not going to kill myself with my coffee invention, I do want to share. Wow, sorry, I got tongue twisted there. I do want to share a verse with you that is very special to me because it's sort of my verse of the year. I shared with you guys my sort of life verse, I think last week. But normally I have a verse that I sort of claim for the year as well. And it's very interesting how a lot of things line up to sort of point out this verse to me. One year, a few years ago, I had a verse that really stuck out to me. It was I think it was in December. And then my pastor at college preached on this verse, and then I went home and my pastor from home preached on this verse. So it was very constantly in my light of view, and that's sort of what led me to pick it. This year's verse is actually a verse from Psalm. It's from Psalm 86. I'm looking at it. It's Psalm 86, verse 10. And I felt like this verse sort of, when I was reading through it, I guess either it was the beginning of this year or the end of last year, it sort of struck me the middle part of it, and I think you'll understand why the middle part did. But as I'm looking at it, even right now, I'm oh, that's a really good verse, because this year has been crazy. Personally, it's been crazy, and there's been a lot of changes and just a lot of different things in my life, and then just 2020's been a year, people. I don't care where you live, who you are. It's been a year. So let me go ahead and read this verse, and then we'll talk about it. So my verse this year for 2020 is Psalm 86, verse 10. It's really short. It says, "For thou art great, and doest wondrous things. Thou art God alone. For thou art great, and doest wondrous things. For thou art God alone." My original thought process when this verse sort of popped out to me was the phrase, "Thou doest wondrous things," because I was looking into 2020. I had gotten engaged the middle of last year, which, to be quite honest with you, previous to meeting my fiance, now husband, and previously to actually getting to know him and starting to date him, I had basically in my brain sort of understood that while I was at college and grad school, I wasn't going to meet anyone. That wasn't it wasn't my goal. It wasn't what I wanted. I had some experiences where I'm like, I just don't want to be in a relationship. So looking into 2020, I'm like, wow, God, you really are a God of wonders. I could not have seen this coming at all. Getting married in 2020, no, never. And I also was looking into it as I was graduating from grad school this year. And that was another thing that a few years prior, that wasn't in my plan. It wasn't my plan to stick around and work for the college part-time and be in grad school. That wasn't a thing. So for me, looking into 2020, I saw all these things that God had completely it was mind-blowing to me that these things were actually happening, because I didn't think they were going to happen. I didn't think I could do it, grad school. But yeah, so that was my thought process going into it. And the farther along that we've come this year, I think the phrase that stuck out to me just reading it now is more, "Thou art God alone." There's a lot of crazy going on. And sometimes we just, like my last video, sometimes we just need to sit back and breathe and realize that it's alright. Thou art God alone. You are God. You control everything. Whew. It doesn't matter how crazy the world's getting. God is God alone. And I don't know, I think this verse, for me, just, it gives me confidence. It gives me reassurance in the face of everything that's happened, because yeah, there's been a lot of good things that have happened this year. There's been hard things. There's been people and loved ones that have passed away for us this year. And just to look and be remind myself, God is great. He does wondrous things, even the things that I don't think are wondrous, the things that I don't understand, the things that are out of my control. He's still in control, and he's God alone. There's just no one else I need to be afraid of. There's no one else that I need to run to, because he's God alone. And really, that verse, there's a lot of context to this verse. I would encourage you guys, if you get a chance, to go back and read the entirety of 86, because that verse is couched in the context of talking about his mercy and his forgiveness. And then I just want to read the last three verses, because I think these two are very encouraging, especially this year. And just whenever you're going through a time where maybe you just need a reminder of who God is. It says, "But thou, O Lord, art God, a God full of compassion, and gracious and long-suffering, and plenteous in mercy and truth. O turn unto me, and have mercy upon me. Give thy strength unto thy servant, and save the son of thy handmaid. Show me a token for good, that they which hate me may see it and be ashamed, because thou, Lord, hast holpen me and comforted me." I can't help but think that maybe Jonah was thinking of these verses when he says, "God, this is why I wouldn't go to Nineveh. I knew you were a good God. I knew you were full of compassion. And you'd have compassion. Like, I can't help but think that maybe Jonah was thinking of this passage right here where David just proclaims how good God is and how great God is, and how even when we can't seem to grasp it or get a hold of it, God does wondrous things and he's all in control. And I think that's just great to remember that we serve a wondrous God, especially in 2020. It's a blessing to know that we serve a wondrous God. So I hope that this was an encouragement to you and that you'll have an awesome day, and until we see each other again. So bye, guys.